What's going on, guys? You have now entered the House of Harlem studio. Yes, and I am your co-host, Kia L. And to the right of me, my hitter, Shaka L. Bay. And to the left of me, my hitter, Nana, the ninja. Stay tuned, because she will be coming out with her Healthy for Kids YouTube channel very soon. You guys are going to be so excited. Make sure all the little kitties stay locked in with that. We'll give you more information coming soon. But with that being said, as y'all always know, there has to be some chat in the house, and we have to talk about a few things. We are going to be speaking in code, but hopefully you guys understand what we're saying. Because you know we speak Geechee, Portuguese, and all that other good stuff.
So the intro didn't have any sound, Wiz?
No sound at all? How the intro?
I don't know. I got to figure that part out. Let me know if that's what happened.
However, how are you guys doing out there? I hope all is well. Let me remind you that it is now hot, and the hot girls are coming out, you know what I'm saying, with their booty shorts. This is the hot girl summer, and you know what I'm saying, they usually be the pregnant girl winter once the hot girl summer is over, because you know the thoughts are out. But however, we have to get to some more and might I remind you that everything that we say here is for educational and infotainment, as Shaka like to say. And so that is what it is. Nothing else and nothing more and nothing less. Just for education and infotainment, aka entertainment. Okay. So as you know, Fauci's out here acting a fool. We have to speak about what may be transpiring this September with the bullshit. And of course, our dear old government, especially here in New York, just will not let loose of the Rona. They've come up with some new database that we will be discussing in regards on how to show people that are in the stores, that work in the stores, or managers, or wherever you go into, how to show them that you've taken the slabber jabber. They just won't quit at it. I'm saying to myself, like, when is this going to stop? I want to say that every time they bring out this information in regards to how many people took the slabber jabber, how many people are participating in this app, in this so-called bracelet, to be able to check really quick if you are one of those participants, they always kind of play with those numbers. I don't know what's going on, but those numbers don't be seeming right. I know my people best, and my people are not really participating in that, even if they're going with the narrative of what the masses is saying. But hopefully my engineer will be able to play that little short video that shouldn't get us censored, if you know what I mean. Engineer? We're going to do that a little later. I just want to confirm with him if that's okay.
Which video?
You know, that we wanted to show our viewers in regards to the database that our good old governor created for people who took the slabber jabber, to just basically be able to scan the wristband. Yeah. It gets no, you know, and supposedly already 1 million people are have already participated in this database. BS. I'm proud to say that I do see a lot of people walking outside without the mask, but there's some more information in regards to what we found out about the mask. We're going to put that on Patreon. It's very important. We don't want to be censored with that, because you'll get to see firsthand like how just like rude and disrespectful these people really and truly are. We also want to go into this Juneteenth situation. You know, the PSYOP is real, and we are easily brainwashed. We easily go back to sleep, go back into a trance. It just happens so fast. I know people are in anticipation to just get back to what they call quote unquote normal, but I mean, for some of us, we haven't taken the opportunity to really really evaluate what was normal. Kidnappings, sex trafficking, organ trafficking, drugs, all kind of stuff. You know, is that the normal that you want to go back to? And so these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about. But I want to remind you guys how important it is to really, like, this is the opportunity when it's hot, when you shouldn't want to eat so much of hot food and you're tired from the heat. This is the opportunity to detox, do some meditation, some deep breathing, and just really get yourself together. So don't lose focus. Make sure you continue to take the vitamin C's and the vitamin D. I want to definitely get somebody on here who's going to give a different perspective on health. For those who may still be eating meat a little bit, he will be talking about the best way to eat the meat. Obviously, some meats just stay the hell away from it. Obviously, like pork and certain things like that. But there's another vitamin that I want him to speak about. And it was very interesting to me when he brought it up. It definitely is not spoken about a lot. And I want to get him on, so stay tuned. Hopefully next week he'll be available and we can definitely have that discussion. Thank you guys for supporting us. You know, supporting us. I'm a vocalist, you know, so thank you for supporting us, because these people they're not playing. They're just not playing. Any little piece of information they just don't want to bring out. We'll be going over some certain things too in regards to remedy that we can use as Moors, but we're going to do that on another day. So make sure you send this link out to a friend, and that friend should inform another friend, and that friend should inform their friend, and that friend should inform their friend plus all of their enemies, because this information is something that we all need to discuss and be in the loop about at all times. Now, on a gossip tip, right? The case with Megan Thee Stallion, right? The case with her is still ongoing with her and Tory Lanez. So there's another well-known artist called DaBaby, and DaBaby decided to move forward and do a record with Tory Lanez, right? Why Megan Thee Stallion went on a rant about how, you know, people support her behind the scenes, but in public there's no support. So she felt some type of way about DaBaby going ahead and pursuing and making a record with Tory Lanez. And I want your opinion about that. I mean, how do you feel about him moving forward and making a record? At the end of the day, their case, I believe, is still in court. It's not final, right? And so we don't know what the hell is going on. My stance is, I just don't see Tory Lanez just coming flat out and shooting Megan out of the blue, just because of his notoriety and him being an artist, and he was really doing well at what he was doing. And I believe he's an indie artist. Am I correct? I don't even think Tory Lanez is signed to anyone. So not only is he not signed to someone, but he's doing well as an indie artist. Forgive me, I should have that information. So it was like, why the hell on God green earth this man would just flat out come and shoot another artist? And just don't sit well with me. On top of his rapport with women. I remember before he even started messing with Megan, there was a videographer who was, doing their thing with a video shoot, and he happened to notice that the man was kind of like filming the light-skinned girl, right? And he noticed that every time the dark skinned girl tried to get in the camera, the man would just push the video away and, you know, go to the light skinned girl. And he literally cut the video short and was like, no. Don't do that. We don't do that around here. Like, you know, that I don't want to be affiliated with that. These are both beautiful women. There's no need for you to just be filming the light skinned person and not filming the dark skinned person. Don't do that. I'm not. If I remember correctly, he even pulled the young lady to the side and was like, look, you're a beautiful young woman. I do apologize for what's going on. I'm not down with that. Megan is not, you know, I don't like to be speaking about colorism, because colorism should not be existing in our race of people. We have beautiful colors from all different shades of brown, right? But you know, I'm just saying this to explain this story, and it's just that you know, that still exists in our community, and it should be non-existent, especially right now at 2021. It should not even exist, but unfortunately we're still dealing with this colorism bullshit. That is another way to divide us in some way, shape, or form, or fashion. I've noticed that, and even I am guilty of this, these memes, all of these things flashing up on the internet and on the TV, whether we're conscious or most of us are unconscious and aware that we're playing this game of division. We're being divided amongst the genders. You know, we're getting our feelings involved about, okay, women are like this, they're liars. Men are like this, they're liars. We are being divided through the colorism, right? The separation of this certain color and this certain color. We're being divided by certain, you know, certain other, I don't want religion, obviously, but also just certain upbringings and backgrounds, as far as this part of the Caribbean, that part of the Caribbean, this part of North America, and we're being divided in every way, shape, or form. And that really is going to be hard to mend and bring back together, because it's broken up in so many pieces. And we're not aware of it. And then it's like every time we get to a certain point, there's somebody that comes within our community and just we just lose focus. Somehow we just lose the focus and we back on the controversy. And if it's not someone, it's something. For instance, the Juneteenth. I had asked a question on Facebook. The Emancipation Proclamation happened in what? 18 what? My memory is bad right now. 60. Um, 1863. You are correct. And right, this is supposed to be a glorious day where the slaves were supposed to be free, right? All across the Americas. Now we have Juneteenth, right? Which happened 2 years after, right? Which would have been in 1865. But it only happened in a small town within Texas, Galveston, Texas, right? I was about to say Galveston, New York for some goddamn reason. I'm a New Yorker. I have to add New York and everything. Might as well add it in my coffee. So 2 years later, allegedly these group of people found out that they were free 2 years later, on this specific day, June 19, 1965. And it's like, as you start to do your research, I can't really find any substantial evidence that would support that. Now, Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles, does acknowledge celebrating that because she's from that actual town. Interesting enough. I don't know if you know about that. Did you know that? She's from Galveston, Texas, and she claims that they celebrated Juneteenth. They never really celebrated the 4th of July. The story is not too far-fetched, right? It is possible for people to get late news, but my question to you guys is, why didn't the other counties inform them? Okay, I'm going to read to you some responses that I got from Facebook, all right? And y'all tell me, what do y'all think about this, all right? I'm gonna, I'm gonna tell you. Hope y'all doing well out there, man. It's going down. So let's see what this is all about. It was interesting enough. So on one fact, I said, so the next town couldn't tell them they were free. And one of my Facebook friends responded, not if they were kept from communicating outside of their master's property, right? Now, that's very much possible. That is very much possible, but even the surrounding counties and the other next door neighbors, I'm certain in slavery, no one could really communicate with one another, right? The house Negro couldn't even communicate with the outside Negroes. Am I correct? There was a lot of snitching going on. So yeah, I can understand that. I mean, what was the big difference that their masters would have been doing that the other masters weren't doing? You understand what I'm saying? And our people, whether we gonna beat them drums or do something, some word would have got back in some way, shape, or form. That's just me trying to gather information and make some logic out of this, right? So someone had wrote, because they were in Texas and they was getting news late. Okay, once again, Texas is big, right? But we're talking about one county. I need to see where the county is located at. Are they off the grid? You know what I mean? Maybe they're somewhere far out. These are things that we have to visit. Someone stated because they didn't believe their brethren and was scared of the master's whip. So with that being said, one person is saying, no, they were informed. They just didn't believe it. They were a little bit too afraid. They were more brainwashed, so to speak, more brainwashed than the other surrounding counties or next door neighbors, right? Someone said, okay, did this really happen? They're asking a question. Did this really happen? Or this is just more made up history that never happened? So that is a question to really visit. Like, one thing we all are learning, that a lot of what we learned about history is in reverse. Another group of people had the opportunity to tell his story and not ours. So even when we're learning in school about the Pilgrims and the Emancipation and Proclamation, later on, then we had supposedly Black History Month come into there, and everything we learned about Christopher Columbus, even the Civil War. I was taken back by learning that our people actually participated in it, and we were the reasons why we won in the first place. So many things happen, and then learning about the Articles of Confederation, right, and learning about certain other aspects in history, we know that everything is kind of like in reverse. And so we have to question everything. So it's like a big treasure in a way. So one of the other Facebook friends said the 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and South in unit, okay? Placing the Southerners who were at the time without power, right? So they were out power down there, down south and down south folks, with the constitutional body of power. I'm going to read that again for those who might have missed it. So the Southerners who were, okay, North and South unit, placing the Southerners who were at the time without power with the constitutional body of power. And at that time in 1865, the free national constitutional law that was enforced since 1774, right? So this is in 74, declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendments for the salvation of our people and citizens. So this constitutional law, right, it was in 1774, way before the Emancipation Proclamation, right? If you think about it, because that was what, in 1863, 65, right? So it says there is no need for application of the 14th and 15th Amendment, right? Because it didn't change, for the salvation of our people. And the prophet Noble Drew Ali, if I could get you more to think, this is a quote from Prophet Noble Drew Ali, if I could get you more to think, you can save yourselves. That was a pretty daggone good one. So yes, right? The free national constitution law was already in effect way before this other emancipation, and obviously before Juneteenth. I get that. But unfortunately, some of us during that time, right, our ancestors might have not known that. But whatever. Now, another Facebook friend had posted a picture. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this picture, but it's very interesting and it's profound, and we all need to go back and do some more further research. This is a pretty daggone good guide or start to some things, right? So I really need you guys to go ahead and see it. If you can't see it all the way, I'm definitely going to, oh, excuse me, my phone was off. I'm going to read what it says, but just take a really good look at the picture and see. It says, did you know Juneteenth is an American Indian holiday? On June 19, 1865, after the Emancipation Proclamation, General Granger announced the end of slavery at Galveston, Texas, a date referred to as Juneteenth. So this person actually is the one who announced it during that time. Galveston was not just a random or hazardous place picked to announce the emancipation of slaves in Texas. It was the Indian Empire where the enslaved Karanakawa Indians, right? Karakawa Indians were reclassified as Africans and blacks. That's some shit. All right. I don't know if you can see this picture, but I'll show you again. So now this is a whole new ball game. If you're going to be reclassified, right? Your status changed, your nationality changed. You're no longer the tribe that you are supposed to be. That we got issues there. We got some big issues. That would be great if you can, if I can. Oh, that's cool. That's some issues, and that has to be digged into a little bit more to understand that. I got some information on it, but I'm going to save it for next time. But this is very important to really speak about this Juneteenth. And FYI, because, you know, I just have some dumb folks that come on and be like, but you celebrating this shit. Listen to me. I was at the event where they were promoting Juneteenth, yes. But that event if I will forever support anyone who's bringing our people together to practice group economics, because that's what it basically was. It was a group of vendors who were in there supporting each other, along with poets, and so many other different talents, to put it in a nutshell. But the group economics was a great thing. I actually went on stage to explain that this is the Black Wall Street. This is the example that we should be doing on a larger scale. The money circulating within the community, which was that room. The money was circulating in there and supporting one another. That is how we're supposed to do it. So yeah, I said on my feed, right, that for those who celebrate, happy Juneteenth to you. At the end of the day, I'm here to support my people, point blank and period. And we have to get the hang out of, I'm going to say that. We have to get used to working for ourselves, doing commerce. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, as a brother said to me, you sisters, y'all are being used by this said government. If I was you, I would use the government back to and for the sole purpose to rebuild your nation again. So we're gonna have to do what we have to do. And if we want to do the 10 of the Juneteenth, why not? Why not? It was a beautiful time out there. I don't regret it at all. I don't at all. So anyway, that person who posted this picture, I'll show it to you guys one more time. All right. The person who posted this picture, I'll read what she wrote. And I was really looking for her to really call in and really explain the two perspectives that she got from having a dialogue with other people. I really would, because it was very interesting. So she had wrote that I'm not sure, but I had a very interesting conversation with two people yesterday who have two totally different narratives, right? One said that they were from Africa, and another said that the story was a lie, right, as far as the Juneteenth. And it was about Indian land being stolen. I'll go with that for 500, please. The Indian land, I'm definitely gonna go with that, because there's substantial evidence and proof that the natives were copper-colored people like us. Okay, your mama, your grandmama, them. All right, and that a lot of land was stolen, just like a lot of patents were stolen, and a lot of things are being stolen to this day. Yes, some of your own people have their names written all over it and were participants in the craziness, and still are to this day, but I'll go with that. So someone wrote, there technically is no next town, it's an island. That is very interesting. That is very, very interesting. And I want to visit that. So let's see if we can pull up Galveston right now. Let's see if we can pull up Galveston, Texas. Can we do that? You think you can pull that up on the map real quick and see if it's available? Yeah, because someone said that there is an island. Mm-hmm. That's what she wrote. Okay. One of my she said technically there is no next town, it's an island. So I'm just reading some of the feedback that we got from the post to kind of give us an idea of what people know out there outside of what we've been researching. I'm not sure if he wants to read the article today. We may not get too deep into it, but
yeah, we're going to read it.
You want to read it? Okay. But it was a very interesting feedback, nevertheless, to say. So we'll see what's going on with that. Excuse me. Yes.
In case people don't know, there was a building that collapsed in Miami yesterday.
There was a building that collapsed in Miami.
It just dropped out of the blue. Dropped. 95 people still missing.
Now, this happens to be around the same time that this new strand that seems to be very, 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 very highly contagious is in Florida. One thing that I'm learning, especially as a journalist, is you're starting to see the BS. You're starting to see the BS a mile away. You see everything a mile away, and you start to be able to see the pattern with these people and starting to see the psyop miles away. And shout out to all the journalists out there, man. Listen, you don't need no license to see the bullshit. You don't need no license to be able to read an article or write an article and see what the hell is going on. You don't need a license to be able to use your logic and your common sense. You really don't. You don't. And I say all the time, I post every so often on Facebook, that logic and reasoning beats a license any day of the week. Any day. I don't care what you say you have, okay? What profession you're in. Some people claim to have a profession and have a higher education, but they can't fucking, like, they don't have no common sense. None whatsoever. Not saying I'm one of the people that have common sense, but I know some people that just don't have no fucking common sense. And you're saying, and you know, like, oh my God, I just had a conversation with somebody in the car the other day. I was like, wow. Insults and no common sense, and that's where we at with it. But that's a whole nother story. Another thing is that I have wrote, like, statistics are, people like to pull up statistics. I mean, they'll run rampant to whatever narrative or whatever their thesis is. They're going to run with their statistics and their stats. Not to say that it's good or not. Oh, don't get emotional. Just don't be talking or whatever. Your experience is still not statistics. What people don't understand, that statistics are essentially a collection of data, all right, based off of somebody's experience. I'm sorry? Okay, so Galveston is okay, Galveston is here. Do it look like Galveston is it off the grid? Is it, you know, is she telling the truth when she said it's an island by itself?
That's Galveston right there, that little red dot.
Well, I could. What do you guys think? Galveston. That's where Beyonce mother from.
Now look.
Okay.
See it right there.
It's out there. It's out there. It's out there. What is the chat saying? I mean, when you look at it, is that water? Is it right by the water?
Yeah.
Right. I just want to make sure. I listen.
It's water.
Okay, so it's right by the water.
They got an airport there. Like, the airport,
But they gotta go a distance
yeah,
to get there.
It's a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But
Galveston seemed like it's off the grid. Can you pull it up? Can you make it bigger? I want to see if it's an island. Can you make it bigger? Let's go. Fix it, please. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom into this bad boy.
it is an island.
I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta turn.
It's an island.
Wow.
Where is that? It's off the coast of the state.
Y'all see that,
Meaning
right?
that more than likely,
It is off the grid.
you got Houston right here.
Well, forget about who. I want to see where Galveston.
And then Galveston is
Damn, y'all.
a bridge ride
Oh shit.
away.
They are a little island. They are a little island, so we're gonna use our little common sense here. What is the chat talking about? We're gonna use our common sense because they are an island. That's for sure, right? Does it really mean that the June 19th is so I could see them not getting news right away. Like what? Y'all niggas just now telling. So I could see that. I could see that happening, being that we just looked at this damn map and they really out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could see that.
Shout out to the chat.
Shout out, man. Everybody's in the room. Moderator, please read the
Shout
rules.
out to the co-host, Wadji, in the building.
What's going on?
We got Wiz, we got Byron, we got Eugenio, we got Six Speed, we got Pasha, we got Lori.
Oh, sure. We in the
You
building.
know, we really up in here. We got Noble T. Patterson.
Oh, sure. What's
know what
up?
I'm saying?
Peace. Peace to the gods.
You know what I'm saying? But what's being
Don't
said
touch that.
is 6 Speed said I'm 30 miles from Galveston. So he's out there.
Later.
You know what I'm saying?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
6 Speed said I'm 30 miles away from Galveston. So he's out
Ooh,
there.
you out there. Where you located at 6 feet? Where at? Let us know what's going on out there. Is this an island? Let us know about this this Juneteenth.
Wadji said it's an island.
It's an
So
island.
he's asking 6 Speed, is it an island? And
I'm sorry about that,
6
guy.
Speed said yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes. It's an island.
It's an island. So she was correct.
Yes.
She's correct.
On the coast.
Wow.
Below Houston.
Woo. Yeah, they out there.
Pasha said peace, blessings, loves, and light.
Love and light to you guys.
Damn, I'm sorry, Pasha, you didn't get the notification.
Sorry
You gotta
about
figure
that.
out what the hell is going on with that. YouTube is on one.
They're on one, man.
Funny style for a minute.
Yes,
Shout
yes.
out to Lori.
Shout out to Lori.
Pasha said she's loving your hair.
Thank you, Posh. Listen, I was trying to be grown like my 7-year young goddess. You know, we pinking it out. We have some other videos we're gonna be doing pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. But I'm like, what am I doing? I'm a pink one. But being that I'm not in the corporate world right now, I'm just trying all kind of stuff.
He said 30 minutes away.
Oh, he's 30 minutes.
Right, so that's not that far at all.
So wow, so you read in the town. I mean, so being that you're out there, I don't know if you were born, or you were in, you were born in that area, or you moved out there, but just knowing that piece of information, whether or not whether or not the Juneteenth story is true, we could use our educated minds and logical minds to say that it's not far-fetched that someone off the grid like that could get news late. I could see why. You know what I'm saying? Because it had to make sense to me, and that makes sense. There was a town, I don't know where, New Orleans or somewhere. They also was like really isolated and off the grid, and they were just, it was like slavery was still out there. It's like they are not in the world that we're in, and that happens sometimes. You have little local places that is like literally dead center into the ocean, and they're not informed about things like the way we are. And they actually probably like to live that lifestyle. I'm pretty sure they are aware of what's going on, but just don't want to be a part of that type of world. But who knows some facts about Galveston? Who knows it? Now, because of that, whether the story is true or not, do you feel like we should be celebrating it at the magnitude that we are? Do you feel like it should be a national holiday? Don't get me wrong. I want to make sure that all of our people are celebrated. I don't give a damn if it's a little piece of corner off the grid somewhere. You know what I mean? But what do y'all think about it? Because, you know, a lot of people say, listen, don't be fooled by this bullshit. Like, this is just another setback to get to what's really important. So what do y'all think about that? I really want to play this video.
Tennessee.
He what?
He's from Tennessee.
Oh, he's from Tennessee. So you from somewhere else. Tennessee is interesting too, because I was going to Hot Springs, North Carolina, and I had to pass through there, and it was an interesting sight to see. And I was kind of like lost for me, like how the fuck I get to Tennessee to get over here. It was just a interesting road trip for me, but that's a whole nother story. I can tell you my funny ass road trips another day.
Tasha said it's a distraction.
I concur. Does that mean, it doesn't mean that we don't care about our people and what they had to go through, but there is a bigger picture here, you guys, and it's like we're being distracted in every way as usual. While these people is literally ripping our country apart and dividing us in every way, shape. Now, I don't want to say dividing us. We have more power of ourselves than they do, but we just falling for the okie doke. Put it that way. But that is interesting. Them people really off the grid. So now y'all know that they're using Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, as the kind of like the ambassador of this Juneteenth situation. And now it's another way, another distraction, but it can also be beneficial to us when we're doing commerce, right? So it's like, let's reap the benefits off of everything that we can, because they are doing it for us. You know what I'm saying? They are doing it. They're benefiting in every way, shape, or form by creating these things and making them national holidays and celebrating. And the only consumers, or most of the consumers, are us, especially the women. Sisters, we gotta do better, especially the women.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, we gotta keep it real.
It says every holiday these people agree on are false. They false.
They falsing.
Check Solomon Sir Jones Quiet Films at University of Yale online. See, that's who I was talking about.
The Solomon Sir Jones. I remember.
Put black
Excellence.
in perspective.
Right.
In a time where we were supposed to be at our worst,
He
documented
black excellence.
in real time in that day that black people were thriving and were doing commerce and were entrepreneurs at that time.
And what era was this, Wiz? What era was this? What time? In the 20s?
In the 20s.
1920s?
Yes.
Okay.
That was in Oklahoma.
And when was Black Wall Street in the play?
I think in the 20s.
Right. So here we go again, right? And here's my mindset. Even with the Black Wall Street is being repetitive. Yeah, Black Wall Street, Wall Street, but this is Black Wall Street and this is the rest of the world. I want to know, while Black Wall Street was happening, was the rest of the world also practicing black excellence and group economics? Or was it just, you know, a little black excellence and a little handful of other counties or states that were operating like this? So these are the things that I want to know, because no matter what, it's still a great thing. It's a great thing for us to know that, hey, when we did this, we were our best. And when we practiced this, we did good without any outside help. Like Dr. Claude Anderson said, he explained this so eloquently. Your money must circle within your community 10 to 15 times before it goes out of the community. You understand what I'm saying? It's really simple. Group economics is very simple. And that is we supporting each other, and whatever outside support comes is what comes. Point blank and simple. And even like I said, that was kind of like demonstrated on a very small scale with the event that we just recently went to. You know, there was a lot of vendors and they were actually supporting one another.
Right.
Every group of other people, right? So although it was on the Juneteenth where it's distracted, it was still beneficial in some way, shape, or form.
Right, and that's what we gotta do. We have to learn how to. We have to learn how to utilize this energy, redirect the energy in a manner that is going to be beneficial to us and our children, because otherwise, other people are going to capitalize off of our demise, and we're just sitting idle, waiting to be made an example of, which is not what we want.
We don't want.
You know what I mean? If we talking about getting back to a place where we need to be at, we have to go back in. I mean, you know, we have to go back in time, see the records, the real records, look at what was really going on at that time, and tell ourselves we need to go back to that by all means, by any means, because you know, otherwise we're going to fall for the okie doke again and again and again.
So let me ask you a question. In history, right, and these are the things that I'm actually going to start to peel back and get some documents. We're going to go over the articles. What are you showing? We're going to go over the articles of association, articles of confederation, whatever. But my thing is, besides Martin Luther King, right, because he was pushing that we need to be integrated. For some reason, I don't know, right? Until the very end, he either knew he needed to make some changes or whatever the case might be, which I believe led him to get killed, right? But outside of Martin Luther King with this integration, is there any other time in history where people were integrated the way he was really pushing it? You understand what I'm saying? We need to be separated, all right? That's what we needed. We need to be separated from others. We need to learn how to coexist with one another, especially man and woman. I mean, woo, they always say, you know, people are saying, we in spiritual war, we in spiritual war. What? We in a gender war, okay? This shit is real. This is really real. The patriarch, the matriarch society, I mean, it is real. Like, and it's just really getting worse, and we're all participants of it in some way, shape, or form, whether you want to admit to it or not. We have a lot of scars that we need to heal, and these memes and certain people coming on these platforms are not doing any service. They say they mean well, and they're using statistics, which I mentioned. It's just a collective of information based off experience in the first place, right? So that word experience, everything leads back to that. And because we have experience that may not be so well, if you hear someone speak about a certain truths, right, that may not be in the best light, you're going to run with that because you have those scars, right? You're going to listen to that, and you're not going to see the rest of the story. And that applies to men and women. Point blank and period. It applies to both of us. And like I said, I even have to check myself. You know, we are falling subject to these memes, these videos about a man and a woman, and it really and truly is dividing us because we are so emotional from our past experiences and scars. We are divided. We are at war. Okay, isn't there a show called The Battle of the Sexes or something like that? Like, that's real. And it's very concerning to me. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like if the melanated man and woman cannot really get ourselves together, I know each home may not be repaired, not everyone is going to make it, but if we can't hold each other to high regards and start to, you know, to heal our wounds and really get our homes straight, we are fucking doomed. We're going to be extinct like the damn dinosaurs. I'm telling y'all, it's not going to be great. I mean, just like when you see the image of all these powerful men standing together and the masses don't want to see that. That's just too much power. Just imagine if homes were being repaired and men and women were respecting one another. Everybody know their place, whatever it is. It doesn't be, everything doesn't have to be right and exact. You know, everything is not going to be equal, but it should be balanced. You know what I mean? There's so many numbers, so many numbers that equal 100, right? So I may be at 10% one day and somebody else may be 90, but that equals 100. That's what balance is about. Equality, I don't even know why we saying that. We are two different, you know, species, two different, you know, we have two different body types. We have two different things going on within our bodies, although they're trying to have surgery and this women are trying to be men and men are trying to be women. So I don't know how that's going to play out. But all I know is we have to stop falling subject to all this shenanigans, because that also is a distraction. And while we're fighting each other, these people continue to just go to the top, and and they consider us degenerates at this point. So to the point where they feel like we shouldn't even be living. Although who the are you to tell to really, you know what I'm saying, say who is worthy of living or not? But the point is, that's the way they see us. Add myself into it. That's the way they see us. Point blank and period. So, what are you gonna pull up with this Juneteenth? I mean, it requires some more research for sure, but them niggas are off the grid.
We don't want to bang on Juneteenth.
We don't.
That.
We don't.
However, it just begs to question what's going on so much that they went out of their way to make it a national holiday.
They ain't making shit a national holiday.
Not as much information being taught on Juneteenth. We were taught about the Emancipation Proclamation, and for all those that don't know, slavery actually ended.
I just read it and
with the Articles of Association.
right. So that's my thing. If slavery really ended with that, years later emancipation come out when that's BS, and then later on this current day we with that. Why not celebrate the emancipation? You know what I'm saying? Why they didn't start from there? Why celebrate this? Because that would be as a whole. Why not celebrate that? You know what I'm saying? Just like with Rona, you want to stop the whole world for flu-like strand. Why you didn't do that with the actual flu? Now, you know we mentioning this for entertainment and educational purposes, right? To stimulate your mind. It's called infotainment, but go ahead.
Now, the thing about it is, like you were saying, it could have been put out there a different way. It could have been presented, you know, and the idea that, and keep in mind, y'all, you have the distraction of
I'm gonna pass the mic to you.
Okay. You have the distraction. You got the distraction of Juneteenth happening. Then on top of that, they doing that on the heel of Father's Day. So it's almost like they're trying to really like diminish the day that fathers, you know, that we get to really kind of, you know, beat our chest for the work that we're doing, bringing up the next generation. You know what I'm saying? So there was so much emphasis on Juneteenth that a lot of people almost forgot that Father's Day was the next day. What kind of shit is that?
That seems so strategic to me. I don't know. It's just something that don't sit right with me. I had brought that up to him. I brought it up to him. That's interesting how it's like neck in hand with Father's Day.
Man, that shit is crazy.
Like literally, don't get me wrong, some people are not falling for the Father's Day thing, but I want to celebrate that. Because it's taken one day, although Father's Day, just like Mother's Day, is 365 days in a year, you know, to forever. All right, even past 18 and 21, you will be that child's parent forever. I just find that just doesn't sit right with me, guys. I don't know about you. It's like, it's bad enough the battle of the sexes is happening, and then you take that little bit of celebration for men who already feel some type of way about his stance in the world, and he has to really rebuild himself because, you know, all the trauma that he has gone through and that he continues to go through out here as a melanated man. It is a struggle. Don't get me wrong, us sisters, we have the struggles too. So it's like, why take that from them? And there's a lot of, oh man, I'm so proud of you guys, man. I'm just so proud of you guys. There's just so many fathers who like really stepping up their game and doing everything they need to do outside of like paying child support. Their baby is their baby. You know how many men are out there caring for someone else's child? Like, it is so amazing. And to be able to like mask, like literally make a whole nother make something a whole nother holiday to kind of like literally dig Father's Day and put them in the dirt is just really kind of like suspect to me. I don't know what you guys think about it. Like I said, some people are saying, well, don't fall for that father stuff too, but I don't mind celebrating that. I don't mind celebrating Father's Day. I really don't. I think that it should be celebrated. I think that should be a very special day for men to be celebrated and just take a time to chill and relax. That should be a day off for work for all men. Some men fucking work till their bones rubbing together, and you gotta like beg them, like, no, you like, some men, I know some men want to sit right next to me that literally that have vacation and don't even want to, you gotta freaking threaten to break up with them if they don't take their own fucking vacation day. Like, and you gonna take that one day from them? Are you serious? And they're not, in all essence, they're not taking a day from them, but you might as well say they are by, you know what I'm saying, making Juneteenth a very big national holiday. You might as well say that. That's suspect, guys. I don't care what nobody say. What, you want to read this article? What do you want to do?
Okay, yeah. Let me go to the party.
They barely want to take a damn vacation. They don't want to take their sick days. Yeah. For real. Those they know, they programmed to get up and work. That's all they know. Like, serious. Well, let's get some infotainment and let's get to this business. It's unfortunate because there are so many videos that I really want you guys to see, but unfortunately we can't play. Well, not on this platform.
No. I mean,
the censorship is at its. We don't want that smoke. The censorship is at its highest right now. Especially YouTube is like the number one on the list as far as censorship, and now they're even doing it with TikTok. Can y'all believe that? TikTok was very you know, you could post a lot. Not no more. And I'm surprised YouTube is still up. So that's why a lot of people are going to Patreon. A lot of people who deal with information mostly when it comes to the government, this deep state bullshit, the Rona, the slabber jabber, a lot of people are on Patreon. They don't want to take that chance.
What we want to do is give y'all some background. We want to give y'all some background on what this is.
That's cute.
right? So,
Yeah. What's going on?
alright, so let's do like this. Let's do like this.
Are you gonna put so they can see the article?
I put the Wikipedia.
Shout out to all the engineers. What would life be without you guys?
Put it up on the screen so you can see it. Okay. So let's pull this up.
Ah, man.
So we're gonna do it like
Can they see it?
this. Yeah.
Okay.
They can see it and they can see you. Okay. Alright, so before I go in and read this, you know, put that up there so y'all know what it is.
But it is.
What it is.
It's always good when the brain is being stimulated and we can read together. We're like the Israelites. Read! Read! Genesis 4:2-1, chapter 6. Read!
So basically, this is called magnetogenetics, right? This is something that, you know.
This is something that y'all want to
we're
hear.
about to learn.
We're about to get to work. We're about to. You gonna learn today.
It says magnetogenetics refers to a biological technique that involves the use of magnetic fields to remotely control cell activity. In most cases, magnetic stimulation is transformed into either force, magneto-mechanical genetics or magnetothermal genetics, which depends on the applied magnetic field. Therefore, cells are usually genetically modified to express ion channels that are either mechanically or thermally gated. As such, magnetogenetics is a cellular modulation. Let me highlight that part.
Okay.
It's a cellular modulation method that uses a combination of techniques from magnetism and genetics to control activities of individual cells in living tissue. So they are able, through this science,
Your little cells.
they're controlling the cells in living tissue. Even within free-moving animals, this technique is comparable to optogenetics, which is the manipulation of cell behavior using light. In magnetogenetics, magnetic stimulation is used instead of light, a characteristic that allows for a less invasive, less toxic, and less modulation of cell activity.
So now,
Let me read the next part. My bad, cause I don't have my mic on, so please forgive me today.
oh, my apologies if you guys didn't hear it. We're sharing our mic today.
But let me go back and just point out a couple of things.
Right, we don't really want to.
We don't have to. We don't want to get.
Points.
We don't want to get into too technical with
Now
this.
this magnetic, genetics, right? Magnetogenetics. Is this in the slab jabber?
It's being reported that it is in the slabber jab.
Okay.
You know, and you know, this is one of the reasons you've been this dead allegedly.
And food.
Allegedly, this is one of the reasons why there has been these videos on the internet, on social media, with certain things being done to their bodies, with things sticking to their bodies and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So,
which,
that,
Raji, I don't know if you can comment, but you said that you've known some people who have taken a slabber jabber and have tried to do that challenge where they put certain things on their arms or whatever, like a magnet. And you said it didn't work. I want to know, was it with just one person? How many people? And did they do it right away? Or did they do it later on, down the line after actually taking the slabber jabber? Like, I just wanted a little bit more details about this this possibility. I know that this thing is going viral and it is skeptical a little bit too, but nevertheless to say these particles are in the slabber jabber, like that's a given. That is definitely in there. Just like the nano stuff.
Right. So, what I want to do, right here, so we can both be heard.
Yeah, my voice is kind of loud. Like, it's squeaky but loud.
Yours definitely carries.
It carries. Well, it seems not to be carried with the children.
It's
like
out.
selective hearing.
It's out there. Alright. Oh, we got a phone call. Oh, well, hold on. This might be my food. Excuse me. Hello?
He like, hold on, that may be my food. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. Cause the magneto
Yeah, hold up, G.
The magnetic
let me get you on live. Hold on.
Genetics.
This is a caller.
It's some serious stuff. And it's very interesting because when you point this out to certain scholars, they override what its main function is for some odd reason, and they want to really be combative with you when this information is right here in their faces, and that really blows my mind each and every time it happens. Like, we're not going to override what it says and what its function is, and and then we're going to use our logic based off of that information as well, because all right, peace to the God. Who's on the line? Who's on the line? Who's on the line? Who's it?
Jerry Hubcap.
Hello, Jerry Hubcap. How are you doing? All right, break it down.
Turn your Bluetooth off. I think.
First of all, hip hop would have never manifested if it wasn't for the Black Mafia. Some of my friends in the Black Mafia.
Okay.
And there wouldn't be no Jay-Z because you had to get on the radio. And I'm not gonna pull back the curtain and tell y'all too much, but I just hope they don't get mad at me when I do my movie, and my friends will push me to the front.
Okay.
So but it was started out. I can't get into detail, but it is what it is. This is a world thing. This is not. New York tried to be monopolizing it, but California had the right. Miami had the right. And now it's the world thing. My music is being played in South America. And I'm loving it because I looked at a movie on South America.
Uh-huh.
And Simone Bolivar, I learned a lot of shit. And we got to coexist in a racist country. And people may hate my friends in the Black Mafia for what they've done or whatever. Oh, they're killing. You know, America, how many fucking babies we killed in all of these countries. And we are brainwashed. We are brainwashed by the polished gangsters. But I ain't mad at nobody. And I ain't judging nobody.
Right.
And I'm moving forward. You know? But I missed the damn show. But I ain't hate nobody. And people that hate me, they hate Jerry Hubcap. I'm the guy with the Coca-Cola glasses. You know,
so you're the guy with the Coca-Cola glasses?
The Coca-Cola glasses that grew up with the number guy.
I'm rolling. So you go ahead.
And we can't look at just the the Al Sharpton days is over. The marching days is over. They still putting their knees on fucking black and Latino kids. And that shit gotta end. And I am gonna change the fucking world. You know, and I'm gonna try to do it without the gun. But that shit is stupid. And people don't, I can't be mad at people that don't want to understand Juneteenth. And I ain't mad at nobody. But for my grandchildren, for my great-grandchildren, for your I'm trying to prevent a civil war.
So you believe that we're going into civil war?
Yes. You got to, this is the same mentality that was at the Civil War. And black people are not looking at that shit. They only looking at, and we are still, and I'm not down on black people. I'm not down on Latino people, and I got to be the guy that fights for the Latino. I went to school for the 30. They took the 30 top kids in New York City, and I'm in Harlem in the '60s, and I got kind of fucked up because they sent me to Douglas. You know, after everybody graduated, sent all the white kids, the Chinese kids, Japanese kids, to better schools. They sent me to Douglas, which is, and I grew up with the most dangerous people, but I love them. And I love their whole. I love their whole.
Do you
and my friend, and y'all can't judge my friend. You cannot judge my friend.
Who is your friend?
Can't even fucking read.
Who is your friend?
I have some fucking dangerous the most dangerous motherfuckers that y'all ever fucking know. You know.
Okay. So are you one of those people who will be celebrating Juneteenth? Is that what you're saying?
I gotta celebrate. Fuck you, July 4th. After July 4th, Toby had to fucking go back to work, and he got drunk on the 5th, and on the 6th, they whipped the shit out of him.
Right.
Black people are ignorant to celebrate July 4th, and George Washington. They all had slaves. But this is an enlightenment period, and if people want to be in the dark, I'm not mad at them.
Right.
But I'm reading Voltaire. Read Voltaire. The only part of Voltaire I don't like is he didn't want women to be educated. But Voltaire was the enlightenment period. And I'm only one person. And
right.
I can't save the world, but I am going to save the world. And I'm going to stop the killing. And they got the UFO report, and we are plunged in the darkness of ignorance. And they told me that, like, during slavery, they had to let the people be ignorant. They did, because they putting the people's eyes out.
Right.
You know, everything goes back to slavery. But I'm glad y'all have the show. Think out the box. You know, and nobody is better than... Like, there wouldn't be no fucking Jay-Z if it wasn't for my friends that loved me and understood that I love the music, the hip-hop. And they're going to be mad because my friends are going to push me to the front. And I got the music, and people loving my music in South America. And I will not be defeated. I'm like MacArthur. I mean, I will rise above ignorance. And not ignorance that y'all think it is ignorance. It's ignorance for not knowing.
Right.
but I couldn't get on the phone. I'm sorry.
Well, that's good.
I
Well, thank you so much.
I had a group called KGB, and they hated me, and I'm glad that they did not me in, because I probably would have killed somebody. I probably would blew somebody's fucking brains out.
All right. Well, Jerry Hubcap, you know, we gotta let somebody else talk right now. Tell him that we have to let somebody else. Hello, can you hear me?
All right.
We have to let somebody else talk right now. We'll talk to you afterwards.
All right, we'll
I
talk
appreciate
next
your
show.
commentary.
Next show. All right.
Yes. So, is there anything else you want to read?
Yeah, there's something else I definitely want to get into. 1 second. Trying to get a little bit of this technical stuff together. But the magnetogenetics is something that
Something you want to look into. The magnetogenetics is, once again, another way, shape, or form to altering your. So can we show this COVID video that everyone has been sending me about this bracelet? I can play it from here and just put it on the camera. What are you trying to get? All right, so I'm gonna let them listen to this thing, because once again,
technology is coming to the rescue. Why?
I just can't.
It's about finding out who has obeyed. And thankfully, once again, technology is coming to the rescue. Watch.
It's called the Immuniband. The Denver physician says it's the first of its kind on the market. It costs $19.99, and it's simple to use. After buying it, you send a copy of your vaccination card, and they'll load it to their encrypted server. If someone wants to verify your vaccine record, all they got to do is take a picture of the QR code on their phone, and it'll take them to that website.
It's easy. It's got a QR code. You just send a copy of your vaccination card. Just show your papers, and then you can participate in the life of your country. In New York, the state is doing this by itself. It's issuing something called the Excelsior Pass. The Excelsior Pass entitles you to all the rights and freedoms you imagined you were born with, but that turn out to be entirely contingent on whether you do exactly what Andrew Cuomo says to do immediately. Officials in New York have assured us the Excelsior Pass is totally safe. It's every bit as safe as a state-licensed nursing home. And it's utterly confidential. It's a lockbox. Your personal health information cannot be hacked by anyone.
No.
Apart, of course, from hackers, people who actually try to hack it. Last month, for example, a man called Albert Fox-Conn broke into the Excelsior Pass in just 11 minutes. But other than that, you're completely fine. So more than 1 million people have downloaded the Excelsior Pass so far, and that's a victory for public health. But it does make you wonder, is this the end or is it the beginning? Why should it end here? The coronavirus is transmissible and it can be dangerous, but it's hardly the only illness that fits that description. There are many. So if politicians can segregate potential COVID carriers from the rest of the American population, why can't they do the same thing to people with HIV?
Here I am.
So it's hilarious, you know. Once again, they're still going with this Rona thing, and once again, this is for entertainment purposes only and education only. And that's it. We don't own the rights to that video, okay? We do not own the rights to that video. But the thing is, you know, it's very comical at this point. Like, let it go. All right, like, let it go. I really strongly believe that those numbers are being altered. It's almost like being an artist and paying for your records. I heard that they do that. They'll pay, like, you know, especially if you got the money, they'll buy a certain amount of records themselves and have their friends buy it. You know what I'm saying? This is the situation where they're just altering these numbers. I don't think this amount of people are in New York are participating in it. I'm going in and out of stores within my community. I will, I haven't been to big places like Walmart and stuff like that, but what I'll do is I'll ask Alphesia to kind of come on and speak about her experience, and even in Walmart, which is very interesting to me. So these big corporations are still, on their BS pretty much. As far as what I'm hearing from, excuse me, very disrespectful. What I'm hearing from her and other people. But it's not far-fetched, it's not surprising to me at this point, and I just really, I'm not gonna fall for the bullshit. Just point blank and period. They're gonna keep coming up with some new stuff, and New York is like the spearhead of everything. You know what I mean? So that itself is kind of interesting to me. And we have many different reasons, or we came up with many different narratives as to why New York is kind of like the number one spearhead to all this Rona bullshit. But although we have whatever narratives that we may have in our minds, and even using some substantial evidence to prove that, I just say get the hell up out of here. It's time to go. Make your money best way you can while you're here. Take that, boom, 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 and go somewhere else. But the one place that I was banking on, and I said, okay, this wouldn't be a bad place to go, and that was Florida. But look at what's happening over there. There's supposed to be a very deadly strand that's coming out of there, which is very interesting, right? Because that state has seemed to been like the number one state that wasn't full of bullshit. Not to mention, I believe that's where your boy Trump moved to, right? If I'm correct, to Florida. Yeah, he's in Florida. He's stationed in Florida. And Florida wasn't about that business. They're like, listen, get the hell out of here with that. They did use necessary precautions in certain places within Florida, but for the most part, they've been open since. And y'all can tell, like, I haven't gotten any sleep. So what do you think about that video that he played?
It's crazy because,
and he was like, "Oh no, I just love him. I love Tucker. He's something."
I don't want to say his name, but that guy.
Oh, I did say his last name just now, but go ahead. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I don't, but the thing about it is, he be on top of the game with these people.
To this day.
He do not be letting up off of them.
I love him. I love him.
He be on their necks about this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to what's being said in the chat. Shout out to Afisha. I gotta get that wrench back to you, Afisha. I gotta figure out how to do that. Make sure you got the notifications hit or something. Something gotta be done, because for some reason,
you can take me up the screen or no?
I want to try to get you situated. So let me read something real quick.
While he's reading that, I can go off the grid real quick if he could do it.
Get you off the grid. Get you off the grid.
Okay.
There. You know what I'm saying? So now you good. You good baby. You good baby, baby. So we were going back into the genetics for a second, right? So now, according to The Guardian, there's an article that says genetically engineered magnetoprotein we're gonna get that back for you. We need you. We need you, Afisha.
We come in, Afisha. We trying to figure it out. Like, what is going on? It was easy.
Yeah, out. All right, check this out.
Let me find out the ops got you.
All right, check this out. That look kind of good over there. Y'all pimping. Nah, because I ordered something. You know what I'm saying? Because I was starving. All right, genetically engineered magnetoprotein remotely controls brain and behavior. Now check this out, y'all. according to this article, it says researchers in the United States have developed a new method for controlling the brain circuits associated with complex animal behaviors, using genetic engineering to create a magnetized protein that activates specific groups of nerve cells from a distance. All right? From a distance. Right. Understanding how the brain generates behavior is one of the ultimate goals of neuroscience and one of its most difficult questions. In recent years, researchers have developed a number of methods that enable them to remotely control specified groups of neurons and to probe the workings of neuronal circuits. Okay? The most powerful of these methods is called optogenetics, which enables researchers to switch populations of related neurons on or off on a millisecond by millisecond time scale with pulses of laser light.
Can they see that?
No, I'm just reading it to them. I don't want to, because it got ads on there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That shit smell good. All right. Another recently developed method called chemogenetics uses engineered proteins that are activated by designer drugs. Designer drugs. And can be targeted to specific cell types. So now when we talk about designer drugs, let's keep in mind they got all of this stuff. Huh? Your who?
My sound effects.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get that. So keep in mind that we talking about designer drugs. So now you got dudes out here with the E-pills, dudes popping mollies, all kind of other things. You got the perks, you got the oxys, you know what I'm saying? Dudes is drinking that lean. Now keep in mind, you know, this is what you call designer drugs. Even that, you know, that white girl. You know what I'm saying? That white girl stuff. Ski slopes and all of that. All of that is what you would call designer drugs. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they're talking about, where they're talking about activating, you know, your neurons through these drugs. You know, now you're getting a little bit of understanding why certain cats are using certain specific drugs, and then one day they either acting funny, they feeling funny, or they just straight up pass out. This is what we talking about. So then it goes to say, although powerful, both of these methods have drawbacks. Optogenetics is invasive, requiring insertions of optical fibers that deliver the light pulses into the brain. And furthermore, the extent to which the light penetrates the dense brain tissue is severely limited. Chemogenetics approaches overcome both of these limitations, but typically induce biochemical reactions that take seconds to activate nerve cells. So, you know, basically there's certain things that's going on that's just not, you know, not right. So then we get to the main thing, right? Several earlier studies have shown that nerve cell proteins which are activated by heat and mechanical pressure can be genetically engineered so that they become sensitive to radio waves and magnetic fields. By attaching them to an ion storing protein called ferritin or to inorganic paramagnetic particles, these methods represent an important advance. They have, for example, already been used to regulate blood glucose levels in mice, but involve multiple components which have to be introduced separately. So we're going to stop there. We don't really want to get too crazy scientific on that. But the bottom line is that they're using magnetic particles to penetrate the cell membrane, you know, and they attach to the ferritin, which is an iron storing protein. Because remember, we have metal in our body naturally. So they're using magnetic particles to attach to these natural iron, this natural iron in our bodies. And through that, they're able to start to control what the cell is needed to do or designed to do. Or they can kill a cell, you know, remotely. You know, this is science that's being done that we have to really be mindful of. And the reason why we're even discussing this type of science is because it's been reported that it is in the slabberjab. You know what I'm saying? So again, when you see some of these videos of people doing all of these different things and things are sticking to their body and all that other stuff, you know, allegedly, then it gives a little bit of credence. Even there was a video where a guy in Walmart was taking a magnet and sticking it to the meat that's being sold in there. Now this is happening, like, you know, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
So we got to keep in mind again that some of this stuff is going on, and you know, although it's all alleged, we don't, because none of us have personal first-hand experience on this stuff, you know. But this is stuff that garners enough of our attention that we have to talk about it to make people aware of the possibilities. Because we're talking about, you know, 5G radiation that's out there.
Right, and those are the things
You
that
know.
we just cannot forget about. And that's the thing, the distractions are there to make us forget about these things. And you know, you're thinking, oh, we're back to normal, we don't have to deal with these things or whatever, but don't lose focus. Tell your loved ones, do not lose focus, because we're gonna, this stuff is not over with. That's one thing I'm confident in saying. This is not over with by far. And you can tell. A lot of people who took the slabberjabbers, they may be fine now. Some, because a lot aren't fine from day one when they took it, but they are going to feel the long-term effects, and you never know. You know, a lot of people say that watch how this is going to play out. They're going to have their long-term effect and go through what they got to go through, right? And even pass some of that on, because we already talked about the viral shedding, right? And we're going, and what's going to happen is they're going to use that as an excuse to say, oh, another major strand came out. You see these people, they're dropping like hot pancakes. But here's the thing, like, you cannot fall for the okie dokie. So now everyone is going to go back into a panic. You know, who knows if they have an actual remote to kind of like control the narrative of where they want things to go. Because remember, your boy is talking about doing another term. So y'all know they can't have him coming in there. Y'all know that, right? Now y'all know there's a lot of talks. There's a lot of talks being done. There are a lot of people.
Let's go to this chat real quick.
What the chat? The chat isn't. At least it's not war. I was laughing the other day about when Unc came on, and we got to have him back on again. It was an interesting time to have him on, and they said it was war in the chat.
War in the chat.
Is it bigger than Nino Brown?
What happened is
These people gonna be dropping like
They
flies.
talking about the video you played. With,
Yes.
The newscaster, they said that was really funny.
That was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? H is
Crazy,
talking about
crazy,
he couldn't get his
crazy.
own situation set up.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, boom, we spoke about that. Then Lori went into a nice little rant saying, oh, they made the super soldiers and all that. He said it's evil science and sorcery. Science mixed with sorcery.
Absolutely.
With demonic intent.
Demonic
when they
intent.
use your organs, they just shut you down remotely. And Apisha says,
Absolutely.
and they putting it in the water. Since when a 40
Go ahead.
Since when a 40-pack of water costs $5? I got a couple cases though. Okay,
Yo,
now.
that tickled me,
Okay,
sis.
now.
Do not. Make sure you put
I
some.
ain't never seen bottled water so
Squeeze some lemon. Squeeze some lemon.
cheap. Cameras on.
In there. You know what I'm saying? No, you got to move back. Squeeze some lemon on inside those waters. You know, or
So-
get food grade hydroperoxide, something. Put a little dabber in there.
So, where it says, what does everyone think about no license required to purchase firearms in Texas? So now you can go out there and just go into the store and be like, yo, let me get one of them 45s and one of them 9s, put them on ice, let me get some of them accessories to go with them.
Was that the case before, prior to this? Because I think there were some states that didn't really require much stuff. I don't know if Texas was one of the states,
So Texas is
but it's
one of those-
not
I think
unknown.
It's an open carry type of state. That's cowboy territory.
right. So it's not far fetched. It's not like it's unknown, in my opinion. I think it's a great thing. I do think that things do have to be monitored and regulated, so just not anyone can get their hands on it. Just like information, right? I don't think that everyone deserves to have certain information because they're just gonna f it up and for everybody else, or use it against the greater and bigger cause. So that goes with the carriers, but to each his own. You know what I'm saying? To each his own.
Yeah, this is very interesting right here. I mean, we need to, look into all of this stuff. So then now, Lori says that's right on point because they're controlling it now.
Controlling
They
what?
literally have a remit to a frequency wave that's responsible for our thinking as a collective.
This is very true. And these are the things that people should be highly concerned about. They should be highly concerned with that frequency wave and their level of controlling your brain and controlling you. Some people are actually for it. Some people want to go into this other this other new technical world where we're flying across and everything, they have chips and they can just open their doors. Some people really do like that idea of living that type of lifestyle. I don't. I want to stick as close to nature as possible. I'm all for technology. I'm all for science. I'm all for it. I'm all for evolving as a human. And I just call myself a human. Shaka, that's you right there. Somebody knocking on the door. But the whole point is there has to be a limit, and all of this technology should not be going against nature. That's the whole point. I mean, listen, the pyramids are out there. Technology is nothing new to us, okay? We are living technology. We are walking science. You know what I'm saying? Every atom, every crystal in our body, like we're carbon based. But the whole point is, if you're going to do this to fight against nature, that's when you don't get my vote. I'm not down with it. I'm not down with it at all. So no. Once again, I'm not criticizing. At this point, I'm not criticizing or judging anyone who decided to take the vaccine. I know, the slabber jabber. I know some people needed to do so in order to continue to have their jobs or whatever. But at the same time, those who survived it and didn't get ill or sick, they're going to have there's a possibility that they're going to have a long-term effect that we don't know about, and we'll find out later on that they're going to have to deal with at the time. And those are some of the concerns. My thing is, we've addressed so many times on this platform, we've broken record as far as putting out videos for actual reputable doctors. Okay, Dr. Patar was one of them, leading doctors, leading top 5 doctor in the United States at the time, but now he's a conspiracy theorist coming out. We had the 2 doctors from California that came out and gave their assessment. They sat there and did an assessment at 3 months. They came with their stacks. They came with their data, all right, of experiences with all of their patients. They put Dr. Fauci right in the corner where he need to be and say, listen, he is what you call an educational doctor. We are out in the field. I specialize in immunology. And people just underline it. You had the African lady doctor who came out and said, listen, this is my assessment. We put it in the database for doctors. We told y'all that hydroxychloroquine, which now, we're not going to get into that, is effective. There's no need for anyone to be ascending, okay? At this point in time, this works effectively. Is a very little small window for somebody to actually pass from that drug. They come back and talk about their clinicals. We need more clinical. You don't need no more clinical shit. Excuse my language. Then on top of that, they come on the podium on the thing and say, if you test positive for this Rona, no matter what underlying conditions you have, immobilities you have, we're going to say you passed away from this. You had doctors that retracted and say that's closely merely and fucking impossible. I've been a doctor all my life. And when somebody passes away, you state what the hell they passed away from. You do not say they passed away from Rona when they had other, what they call it, comorbidities, in the play. You know, there's lawsuits as we speak right now. Niggas had car accidents, okay? And they over here talking about this person died of X, Y, and Z. Like, no, hell no, all right? So listen, let's stop playing again. We have covered how the nanoparticles work. Now, there is substantial evidence that completely shows that, nigga, your DNA, this protein particle is going to alter your DNAs, hands down. And last but not least, I think this is the worst of all worst. It's going on the CDC website and they telling you 10 ways to deal with a zombie. I think it gets no worse. That's when the things became like so real to me. Like, wow, this is a government website and they're talking about zombies? Zombies. We covered that. We got the videos. It's been a long journey for us. Then we started to relax a little bit. Then you have people coming on saying, listen, even the 2 doctors from California has stated, never in history do you quarantine healthy people. You will make them sick. If you know anything about the immune system, that is the last thing that you want to do, okay? And you got millions of people in the house hitting the wall outside their window. I'm cheering on the essential workers, which was only at the time in their brains the doctors and the nurses. Not to mention that you still have other essential workers going out to work every day, such as myself. So we went through hell and back, and that needs to not be forgotten. And then last but not least, to add insult to injury, the George Floyd's case, which literally went viral worldwide, which caused pandemonium and chaos, which needed a shake. But where did we get from? You know how many people? I just watched a video just the other day of these cops beating this young man's ASS. Like, it's nothing. We back to that again. So it was like all that protesting, even though they recovered mysteriously bricks. I've never seen that. This seems so surreal. I can't. Mysterious bricks being dumped in certain areas of the protest. They just randomly just got there. We recorded on Fordham Road in here in the Bronx, police officers using a what was they using? Something to cut out a jewelry store to make pretend that the riots, like the people from the riots, went and bust into the jewelry store, and then you hear the news cover it. Like you've seen firsthand both sides. Them actually actually do the act, and then you see how the news cover it, and you go, no. Niggas was like recording, like, look what the cops is doing out here. And then once the news cover it, they say that, oh, the rioters, they even bust into this jewelry store. We got to see everything unfold, literally. So I'm saying to myself, CNN putting up actual footage of movies talking about they busting everything, they starting fires, when this actual footage, this scene was from a movie. Like, don't forget that, you guys. Don't forget that. Don't forget it, because I ain't forget. Y'all see, I got that shit in the back of my brain. We uncovered the very first video of when it was staged right there in Queens Hospital, where this all began. That first lady, come to find out, wasn't even a doctor, who had staged people standing outside the hospital talking about this is real, people are dying with masks on. Did y'all not forget? And remember when your boy Trump was like, I seen all those dead body bags, same size, all the bags is the same size, literally the same size. So everybody in Queens was the same size. And they said, look, we walking over body bags. We witnessed the coon Como tell Trump, we need ventilators. And then Trump tweet later on, Como, take the ventilators out of the basement. And a news reporter run up on Como and say, well, is it true what Trump said? Do you have the ventilators in the basement? We thought you need the ventilators. His response, I can't say because they'll say it's harassment. It's harassment. It would definitely be against the community guideline. But however, I'm telling you guys, I took you on memory lane. It may have not been in chronological order, but nevertheless to say I took you on memory lane. Don't forget. All right? They injected syphilis into your people. They asked for pardon. All right? These are the same people. Okay? Fauci is undeceased, but somebody was saying don't fall for that. That's all a setup too. The leaked emails and all that stuff, they're claiming this is all a setup. I don't know how true it is. But I wish it was true. I wish he would get out of there. And that's the bottom line. At one point, Trump said, I stopped listening to him. I need a second opinion because obviously he got caught in too many lies. And that's what's going on now. We have a year in a year stretch. Did y'all see? We showed y'all last week the celebration of your girl, Kamala Harris, right? Alleged vice president, sitting at the table. You would think that you're watching some 1890 or 1900 slavery flick. Like it seemed like this can't be real. And you see the old lady standing in the background looking at her like, I can't believe we back here again. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a single melanated dot at the table. Not even a little dot. And this is who you voted for. And this is still okay to some people. It is perfectly okay.
Well,
I don't have nothing else to say.
so
We just gonna read this last thing and that's it. We
I'm playing real. Then we out.
Okay.
Because it's a great segue into really understanding. Somebody understanding, or overstanding control. Because again, this is still about control at the end of the day. So when we talk about, what's going on in the game, then that's something that has to be, we have to broach that topic, because now you have all of this gender bending going on in the entertainment industry. You got all of these cats that's really going through one door or another. They either going through, the mono door, or they going through serve them up on the platter door. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep in mind that, there's people out here that look at their desire to get to this fame and all of this other stuff. However, is the fame really worth your sanity and your soul and even your loved ones? You know what I'm saying? Is it? Chat. Tell me something. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me nice. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, I want to play a video. We play the videos. But this is, we cringe, but this is different. You know what I'm saying? This ain't dealing with nothing sensitive in that regard, and trust and believe. You know.
You have violated community rules and guidelines. We gonna suspend you. You know what? Matter of fact, we just gonna cut you off. You ain't right for the two.
Cut your umbilical cord, player. You know what I'm saying? What's happening with you?
You're on that blacklist. Trust me. You're on that blacklist.
So, hold up. Let me see if, because I don't know if the sound is gonna come up.
You know what it is. There's a theory that a lot of rappers they get signed, especially.
Okay. I guess it is coming up. So let me play this real quick. Let's go.
If anything happens to me after I bring up this subject, you know what it is. There's a theory that a lot of rappers they get signed, especially nowadays. These labels, they crunch the numbers. They figure out what works, what brings them money, what doesn't. Rappers getting locked up and rappers dying on two of the biggest promotions as far as money makers for labels. Now, I've spoken to a lot of independent artists. Shout out to Source Walker. One of the things that he told me when I said, he said, Jay been trying to sign me. I'm like, why wouldn't you sign? He said, because I don't want a label playing with my life.
Facts. That's real. That means playing with, because I'm going to expose, that means playing with your butt. No, listen, I'll be honest, look, because I've been doing music. No, because I feel like we gotta put it out there. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of listen. You edit it out. Listen, you edit it out. No, listen, because I feel like
that's not what he meant, by the way. But go ahead.
No, listen.
Not what he meant,
I'm not saying what he meant. I'm just saying in general, because I feel like a lot of people, like, I had like 2 record deals, right? And
they wanted your butt?
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on.
He said,
hold on.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, what happened?
You was fucking with G-Unit.
Look, he ain't smoked nothing, bro. Hold on.
You ain't blink.
Jesus, okay. Sit back.
Like,
who in G-Unit wanted your butt, bro?
Listen, hold on. Look.
What's his name?
Yeah. Protect that back door at all costs.
So
It's not a game out here in these streets. They want you, boy. They want you. They like you, and they want you. So we gonna do this the easy way, or we gonna do this the hard way? How you wanna do this?
I ain't gonna lie, they've approached me. Yeah, these people here. You know, sometimes, although I know what it is, I still become speechless. What do you guys think about that video? Like, I mean, right? You are hearing a panel of men have a conversation, and one of the men appeared to have some more firsthand insight on what's going on in the industry because he was approached, right? And he didn't really necessarily give a lot away, but because his friend knew who was trying to put him on their label, which happened to be G Unit, his friend was able to put 1 and 2 together. You know, long story short, like, what? G Unit trying to get that butthole? That's not funny. It's not funny. You know, and the thing is, there are many ways that people get in and to be able to get to the top. I honestly feel like with Kanye, correct me if I'm wrong, he always had that battle. I don't know where he's at right now. I don't know if you guys ever heard of MK Ultra, but we always kind of questioned whether or not he was going in and out of that, you know? Right now, he is like super low key behind the scenes, which I feel is better for him, dealing with certain mental illnesses, right? And he is behind the scenes. There's a possibility that he is going through a divorce, although there has not been any substantial proof about that, right? Outside of a little clip of his wife crying about he deserves somebody who can travel with him and do this, that doesn't really mean anything. You know, he decided to marry her, and you know that's his wife. So there's not much we can say about that because that was his decision, and there are children from that, right? And they deserve nothing but the best. All children do, right? But this industry is cutthroat. And the reason why we're playing that is to go, these are the same people who out of nowhere are like advocating this Rona. Like you have Mariah Carey, who was like one of the most private people coming there and show, yeah, I'm getting a slabber jabber. You understand what I'm saying? You have, you know, young Bay in some way, shape, or form talk about go get tested. I got a center set up for you.
But she ain't show her getting that needle.
I mean, people that you wouldn't even think that would be actually involved into that politics side of things came out. Even Brandy, surprisingly.
Right.
So
He's a relic in Hollywood.
Cardi B didn't seem you know, that was a no-brainer. I knew she would do it. And so shoot. The only person literally that was brave enough, Chris Rock, that came up and said, I ain't taking nothing, I don't trust him, be honest or not, is the man herself, Wendy Williams. And, you know, we got to cheer it up because that man really stood his ground. Wendy Williams was not playing. And it's like, we got to cheer it up and we got to support those type of people who, you know, said what they said against the grain, because right. I know she got pressure on her.
Using their own mind.
But you got to remember, it's not even about their own. It's about the pressure. It's like if you don't do this, then you are either A, you heard what's that comedian guy who kind of broke everything down. By the time you get off this plane to your next destination, it's over for you. You know what I'm saying? It is over for you. They did it to Dave Chappelle. So. And he kind of like gave a little bit insight of how this thing really works, along with some other people. So it's like, not about you standing on your own grain, but it's like your whole career. Can Monique, the comedian, has spoke about it. Your whole career, and even your life, and the people in it, would be tarnished. It would be shredded to pieces if you don't do what they say, because you already are into a certain point. You know what I'm saying? So these are some of the things that we have to understand, that some of these celebrities, or most of these celebrities, don't have your best interests at hand, because they don't have the power to.
And they're expecting you
They don't have it.
to submit.
They want you to submit like a biatch. They want you to submit. I want you to submit. But anyway, that's our little 2 cents for the show. Shout out to the chat. Let me know what your chat talking about.
Where he said he is telling the true zombies to be activated soon. And he said, get your zombie ARs and shotty ready.
Right.
You know, then Lori said, yo, wait, you guys don't have zombie insurance yet? They got zombie insurance, word to God. Like, he dead serious about that. They really got zombie insurance like that? He said, I swear. And a zombie killing kit in Walmart.
Get out. Yo, stuff like that, Lori, please take pictures, send it to us, man. House of Harlem. Email me.
Yeah. We need some visuals on that one.
If you see any zombie trucks or zombie patrol, please email it to houseofharlemtv@gmail. We need those type of footage. One person did state that they seen it, but that was, before they were aware that I had a show. Send them to me.
Then where it says Trump is so sarcastic, but is trying to put people on. Falsy, instead of Fauci,
Froggy.
is going to die for his crimes.
Yo.
Then
What do y'all think about those leaked emails?
he said butt breaking shit is sad. It's been going on in showbiz for forever. It's just being confirmed. 6B said confirmed yet again.
Confirm. Abort mission.
The way it said shouts to Noble Steve Copley, Bobby Hemmett, and Gay Hollywood Boulay.
He funny.
That's crazy.
Shout out to all the ancestors who really fought against the grain and stood on this, on their square. Winnie Mandela, she was a beast. She was definitely a beast. She stood on her square to the day she ascended. So much so to where, unless you guys got any other information that proves me wrong, but she was one of those people that just stood on their square. I don't know how you feel about Malcolm, but that's my sentiments as well regarding him. Like, Malcolm was just salute, Unfortunately, Martin, is not really on my list, but still he did, pave the way for certain things. But it was a setback. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing wrong with segregation. We just needed our own. We needed to get our own schools like we had before. That is a form of sending a child to school every day where people are protesting and the National Guard have to escort them in. That's child abuse. You know what I'm saying? That's child abuse. To be spit on every day is child abuse. And it's so funny because I listened to the documentary of one of the ladies, I forgot her name, who had supposedly, right, allegedly went through that. She painted the teachers in a very good light in the school. Well, you know, the teachers were really great to me. They said, don't worry about the protest and what's going on outside. Our people are just so brainwashed. Our people are so goddamn brainwashed, it just doesn't make no damn sense. It really don't. And I'm saying to myself, I'm fighting every day. But anyway, it's that time. It's that time. We appreciate you guys for jumping on with us. House of Harlem Studios. You ever see his face? We definitely have some more research to do. I'm really interested in this Juneteenth situation. And why these people was in West Bubble somewhere. Why nobody ain't walk over there and give them this news? You know what I'm saying? So we definitely going to dig a little bit deeper into that. But just remember, this is your land. What's the name of that song? This land is your land. This land is my land. It was a setup, huh? From California to the what? Something Islands. You don't remember that song, y'all? This is yours, baby. Don't worry about me. The other parts are yours as well, but this is yours, all right? This is the bread and butter. All right, peace. House of Harlem Studios is in the building. We got a lot of surprise guests coming on again, you know, so stay tuned.
We appreciate y'all for being on.
For being on and riding with us on the rodeo. On the rodeo.